All right, clase, buenos dias. You guys are going to be filling out section 2 for chapter 1, section 2 of your vocab, así se dice dos. So in order to do this, you will need your vocab list number 2 that I created for you. And the idea with this is that you're only having to write the English definition rather than both the English and Spanish, so hopefully it'll cut down on the amount of writing you need to do. Plus, you can choose how you want to do this. If we were in class, I'd print this for you, and you'd be writing it in by hand and keeping it in your binder. But if you'd prefer to do it as a Google Doc or a Word doc, that's totally fine too. So in this video, we'll be completing the activity verbs here, 15 of them, the first 15. So that's what we'll be completing here. Now I will say the word for you, and I want you to say it individually to yourself. Okay, it might feel funny, but that's how we practice and learn. This is what we'd be doing in regular class. So say it, repeat it to yourself, and then I'll advance to the next slide and you'll see the translation. I did my best to make sure they were in order, and they should be, but if they're not, it shouldn't be too hard to find on that list there. So, all right, so here we go. All right, so my favorite activities, mis actividades favoritas. So in section 1, you guys learned how to express things about your identities and other people's identities. I'm an artist, for example, soy artista. Well, because I'm an artist, what do I like to do? Therefore, what do I like to do? What are the activities that an artist would do? They might draw or they might paint, for example. So that's what you guys are going to learn how to express here, is those activities that you like to do based on your or someone else's identity. Okay, so that's the objective here. I'll make my screen a little bit bigger. Okay, so your first one, repitan. Escuchar música. Escuchar música. And then you also have this one, bailar. Bailar. Okay, so that is to listen to music and to dance. It's two different ones there. Okay, the reason I have to music in parentheses is because escuchar, the verb by itself, is just to listen, but to music is because I have música there. But so the verb by itself is one thing, but when you add something, it becomes something else. So I just wanted to showcase that by having it in parentheses, okay? And if you guys need to pause this at all to write, please pause as you need to, okay? All right, next one, comer. Comer. Okay. Comer, and that is to eat. Something we all like to do, right? Comer, to eat. Right, next one, repitan. Escribir. Escribir. That's escribir, and that means to write. To write. I believe on your list it says escribir poemas, I think. So that would be to write poems, right? Escribir by itself would be to write. All right, next one. Estudiar. Estudiar. Okay, that one's to study. To study. Okay, next one. Sorry, I went too fast. Hablar. Hablar. Okay, so that would be hablar, to speak or to talk. It's also important is that you guys are writing the word to in front of it, and I'll explain why. To speak or to talk. Okay, next one. Jugar. Jugar. Okay, jugar, and that's to play. I believe on your paper it's jugar baloncesto. No, sorry, jugar al basquetbol. That would be to play basketball specifically. But jugar by itself would just be to play a game or a sport. Okay, sorry, I keep doing that. Next one, repeat then. Mirar, mirar películas, películas. So put that together. We've got mirar películas. So mirar would be to watch. Películas is movies. So to watch movies. Okay, next one. Navegar. Navegar. Navegar por internet. So this one is to surf the web, which is kind of an outdated term. That's the term it gives you in the book. But it's just to go on the internet, to browse around. They used to call it to surf the web when the internet came out, and that was a big deal. So to go on the internet, navegar. A couple more. Repitan clase. Pintar. Pintar. Okay, so that is to paint. Pintar is to paint. Next one, practicar. Practicar. Practicar deportes. Deportes. Okay, and that is to play sports. Deportes is sports. Okay, next one, tocar. Tocar. Tocar un instrumento. And that is to play an instrument. Right, specifically an instrument, and jugar would be to play a sport. Okay, so tocar un instrumento, to play an instrument. Okay, next one, trabajar. Trabajar. Okay, that's trabajar. That is to work. To work. Okay, dos más. We've got vivir. Vivir. And that is to live. To live. And last one, all of our favorite thing to do, dormir. Dormir. And that is to sleep. To sleep. Something I don't get enough of. All right, so you should have at this point filled out all of the activity verbs, the first 15 there on the list. We will continue. These slides will be posted if you need to go back and look at them again. So you should have filled out this first section here. All right, now I'd like you to now either take a photo of this if you printed it and submit it to my MHS, or you can share, you can copy the Google Drive link and send that to me on my MHS. Please don't email it, but just make sure that it is in fact shareable and it's not restricted, because if I open it, I might not be able to see it. Okay, so all right, so we will continue practicing with this next class. Just be sure you submit to me a copy of your completed vocab here. Okay, gracias.